how are you all? Hope all of you are doing well. I, Farhana Afroz, lecturer, Department of English, Milestone College, welcome you all to the English online class. Today, I will discuss about modifiers. Dear students, you will find modifier in English second paper. In the question paper, modifier will be set as fill in the blanks in a passage. 10 fill in the blanks will be there and each blank contains zero point 0.5 marks and altogether there will be 5 marks. Let's know what is a modifier. A modifier is a word or phrase or clause that sits before or after another word and modifies that word or gives more information of that word. For example, he is a wise man. Here, wise is an adjective modifier because wise is modifying the another word man. Modifier is of two kinds, pre-modifier and post-modifier.
Students, from the previous Zoom and video classes, you already have known about modifiers elaborately and even you have practiced some exercises from board question. So, let's solve other board question taken from Joshua Board 2019. Let's see a sample question. Read the following text and use modifiers as directed in the blank spaces. So this is the question and I already have told you that modifiers will be given in a passage as fill in the blanks. So let's solve this board question altogether. Air and water are the most dash elements of the environment. Students, here you have to use an adjective to pre-modify the noun. Usually, adjective sits before a noun or noun phrase to modify that given noun. That's why these types of use of an adjective is called attributive use. So, as a perfect answer here, we have to use either important or significant. So, the full sentence will be like this: air and water are the most important or are the most significant elements of the environment. The next sentence is, but we are polluting them dash. Students, here you have to use an adverb to post-modify the verb are polluting. You know what is an adverb? An adverb usually modifies a verb, an adjective, and sometimes an adverb. Here, the answer can be unwisely or heavily. In this sentence, the word heavily or unwisely is used after the verb to give a clear idea about the contribution of polluting the environment. So, the adverb heavily or unwisely is the post modifier of the verb. The answer will be like this, but we are polluting them unwisely or heavily. Let's see the next sentence. Students, the next sentence is mills and factories use fuel dash their products. Here you have to use an infinitive to post modify the verb. So before using infinitive, we must know about infinitive. When we use the word to before a verb in a sentence, we are using the infinitive verb form. However, infinitive does not act like a verb at all, but rather takes on the role of a noun, adjective, or adverb in a sentence. For example, her decision to study medicine was appreciated. Here, to study medicine is the post modifier of her decision. So, in this sentence, the answer will be to produce. So, the full sentence will be like this. Mills and factories use fuel to produce their products. The next sentence is the burning of this fuel creates smoke dash. Here, dear students, you have to use an adverbial phrase to post-modify the verb creates. What is an adverbial clause? At first you have to know about it. An adverbial clause is a dependent clause that modifies the main verb in the independent clause or the principal clause. Adverbial clause always start with a subordinate conjunction and must connect to an independent clause to make sense. Dear students, let's see some adverbial clause. Adverbial clause of time. This type of clause usually indicates the work time of principal clause. For example, I met Ahsan when I was at school. Here, when I was at school is the adverbial clause of time. Adverbial clause of place. Adverbial clause of place usually indicates the workplace of principal clause. For example, I shall go where he lives. Where he lives is the adverbial clause of place. Adverbial clause of reason. This type of clause actually indicates the work reason of principal clause. For example, he was absent as he was ill. As he was ill is the adverbial clause of reason. Adverbial clause of manner. How principal clauses work is done, adverbial clause of manner tells about that. For example, do as you like. As you like is the adverbial clause of manner. Adverbial clause of condition. By this clause, usually we understand about the condition, such as if he came, I would go. Adverbial clause of comparison or degree. For example, Ruma is taller than Rumi. Adverbial clause of result. This type of clause actually shows the result of principal clause's work. He is so weak that he cannot carry the load. Here, that he cannot carry the load is the result of the principal clause he is so weak. Adverbial clause of purpose. Example, work hard so that he can shine in life. So that he can shine in life is the purpose of principal clause. Adverbial clause of concession. Though he is poor, he is large-hearted. Usually, in adverbial clause of purpose, we use though, although, even, if, this type of word. So here, though he is poor, this is the adverbial clause of concession. So here, as the answer, we are going to use all the time. So after writing adverbial clause, the full sentence will be the burning of this fuel creates smoke all the time. Motor vehicles also pollute the air dash.
Dear students, here we have to use an appositive. Do you know what is an appositive? When two nouns sit together in a sentence to indicate a person or thing, and the second noun is called the appositive or casing apposition of the first noun. Usually, an appositive works in a sentence as a noun phrase, and we must put a comma before an appositive. For example, Mr. Rohim, principal of our college, is a good administrator. Students, in this sentence, principal of our college is giving extra information about Mr. Rohim. So, principal of our college is an appositive. There are three types of appositives. Number 1, nominative appositive. This type of appositives usually sits after the subject. I already have given the example of nominative appositive, and that is Mr. Rohim, principal of our college, is a good administrator. This is the example of nominative appositive. Number 2, objective appositives. These types of appositive sits after the object and gives extra information of the given object. For example, we celebrate Pohela Boishakh every year, the most colorful festivals of Bangladesh. Here, the next one is the appositive of the object Pohela Boishakh. Number 3, possessive in apposition. Here, appositive is used as possessive and indicates the possession of the noun given before. For example, I have read Nazrul, the poet's work. Here, the poet's work is the possessive appositive.
The answer will be most essential thing for us. So the full sentence will be like this. Motor vehicles also pollute the air. Most essential thing for us. This is the appositive here. The next sentence is water is polluted by dash kinds of waste and filth. Here, you have to use a quantifier to pre-modify the noun. Quantifier is a kind of adjective. Numbers such as 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. and some words which show the amount such as much, many, some, several, a lot, all, etc. are called quantifiers. So, as the answer, here we can use all. Water is polluted by all kinds of waste and filth. We also contaminate water dash into it. Students, here we have to use a present participle phrase to post-modify the verb.
Students, before we solve this, we must know about participles. There are two types of participles. Number 1, present participle. Present participle means verb plus ing form. In this sentence, verb plus ing form can be used as verb or can be used as an adjective. For example, the boy standing at the door is known to me. Here, standing at the door, this is present participle and this is modifying the noun the boy. Number 2, past participle. When we add d, ed, n, t or ne with the verb and it works in the sentence as an adjective or as a verb, this is called past participle. For example, car made in Japan is running well. Here, made is the past participle form of the main verb made.
So, as a present participle phrase, the answer will be throwing industrial waste. We also contaminate water throwing industrial waste into it. After writing the answer, the full sentence will be like this. Next sentence is, farmers use dash fertilizers and insecticides and pollute water. Here we have to use an adjective to pre-modify the noun. So can you guess the answer? What will be the correct answer? Yes, the correct answer will be chemical. Farmers use chemical fertilizers and insecticides and pollute the water. This is the last sentence of the given passage, and in this sentence we have to use two modifiers. Dash water is harmful for health. For I number, we have to use a past participle to pre-modify the noun, and for J number, we have to use an intensifier to pre-modify the adjective. So for I number, we can write polluted. This is the past participle modifier, and for J number, we have to use an intensifier. Students, intensifiers are adverbs or adverbial phrases that strengthen the meaning of other expressions and show emphasis to that word, such as very, highly, really, so, to, all, etc. So here, as the intensifier, we can use very. So after using these answers, the full sentence will be, polluted water is very harmful for health.
Dear students, hope you all have enjoyed our today's class. As we have solved Joshua Board 2019, hope you all will solve other boards too at your home. I'm signing off here. See you in the next class. Allah Hafiz.